We talked on the last show about Ralph Yarl, and I have some new information on that story for you today. And I want to discuss kind of what this highlights, emphasizes for me. And because there's some time that elapses in between when I record shows and when individual clips get uploaded to the YouTube channel, before this story could get uploaded, so much new information had come out about it that I didn't want to upload an outdated story. So updated version here. If you're a YouTube segment viewer, that's what you're watching. If you're a full show viewer or podcast listener, some of this will be recapping what we already discussed. But like I said, new information as well. So as I walked through previously, Ralph Yarl, 16-year-old in Kansas City, was going to pick up his two younger brothers and, had gone to the wrong address, walked up to the door of the house he thought was the one his brothers were at, and rang on the doorbell. The homeowner then shot him twice out of the door. Now, Ralph Yarl survived. So glad that he did. It must be recognized, though, just how much damage is going to be done for Ralph Yarl for the rest of his life. That's never going to go away. But so glad that he did survive. And Andrew Lester is the homeowner. He's an 84-year-old white man. Ralph Yarl is a black teenager. And so when trying to understand why would someone do something so irrational in shooting somebody because they rang on their doorbell, of course, there's going to be a recognition of that variable and how that could have played into this, which is a horrifying prospect. And when I last discussed this, Andrew Lester hadn't been charged. Now he has. Andrew Lester, the suspect in the shooting of 16-year-old Ralph Yarl, has been released from custody after posting a $200,000 bond. Authorities said Lester surrendered at the Clay County Detention Center on Tuesday and was released a few hours later after posting bond. Lester, an 84-year-old white man, was charged with one count of felony assault in the first degree and one count of armed criminal action, also a felony, Clay County prosecuting attorney Zachary Thompson said during a press conference Monday. And we'll skip forward. There's, by the way, Ralph Yarl. There's the homeowner showing on screen. We'll get to Yarl's account of this first. Police conducted an informal cursory interview with Yarl at Children's Mercy Hospital on Friday, according to the probable cause statement. Yarl told police he parked in the driveway, went to the front door, pressed the doorbell, and waited outside the front door, the statement reads. Yarl told police the man inside took a long time, but finally opened the door holding a firearm, and then he was immediately shot in the head and fell to the ground. Yarl told police he got up and ran away to keep from being shot, and that the man allegedly said, "Don't come around here," according to the probable cause statement. Lester said that he just lay down in bed when he heard the doorbell ring. He grabbed his revolver and went to the front door, which consists of an interior main door and exterior glass storm door, both of which were locked. The statement reads, Lester stated he opened the interior door and saw a black male approximately 6 feet tall pulling on the exterior storm door handle. Yarl says that didn't happen, by the way. He stated he believed someone was attempting to break into the house and shot twice within a few seconds of opening the door. So just completely incomprehensible why that would be the reaction. And good that he's been charged with felonies. So number one, as I said, so glad that Yarl survived somehow after being shot in the head. Recognizing the horrible trauma that's going to be left over from that. So hoping within that context, the best recovery can take place both physically and mentally. Then zooming out as to what this emphasizes, a little bit of what we talked about previously for our full show and podcast listeners. The first thing that this emphasizes to me is, as USA Today writes, Thompson, this is the prosecuting attorney, said there was a racial component to the shooting, but nothing in the charging document says the shooting was racially motivated. So if indeed that is one of the motivating factors for Lester, this is why he completely irrationally felt threatened by someone ringing on his doorbell. Absolutely horrifying. Once again, highlights the reality that so many people still have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And then the second is this culture we have, pushed by a particular part of our, political reality, that says you always have to be ready to shoot your gun. Just be ready. It's going to happen. Someone's going to come to your house. They're going to try to attack you. You have to be ready to shoot your gun at any moment. And it's justified. And so then this fear-mongering that's constant, the similar branding that gets attached to the Second Amendment, again, an incorrect interpretation that is used of the Second Amendment to justify saying no regulation should happen. But why often do they say, what's the story that is told as to why we shouldn't regulate guns? Well, because we have to have just a stockpile of guns that are completely unregulated in every single person's house because they're about to be attacked at any moment and you have to be ready to shoot somebody. And then when not even justified, you have people, and I can't ever know why one person, usually you can't know specifically what influenced him in that exact moment to make the decision that he did. But societally, constantly reinforcing the message that you need a bunch of guns so that you can kill someone when it comes time, and it's going to be justified. It's going to be the moment, it's your moment. You're going to get people who are far too trigger happy. And that could be what we're seeing here as well. And in the news as well recently, Kaylin Gillis, this also is an example of this.
20-year-old woman was fatally shot after turning up the wrong driveway in upstate New York. Police say Kaylin Gillis was in the car with 3 friends looking for a friend's house in the rural area of Hebron, New York on Saturday night. After mistakenly pulling into the wrong driveway, police say Kevin Monahan came out of the house and fired 2 shots. One of the shots struck Gillis. They then drove to the neighboring town of Salem to get cell service and call for help. Emergency responders performed CPR on Gillis, but she was pronounced dead.
There was clearly no threat from anyone in the vehicles. There was no reason for Mr. Monahan to feel threatened, especially as it appears the vehicles were leaving at the time.
According to officials, Monahan...
It appeared the vehicle was leaving. And then Kaylin Gillis gets shot and killed. Her life forever lost. Ralph Yarl's life forever changed. And impact in so many brutal ways. And so on an individual basis, it's the homeowners who are 100% responsible for their actions. When we talk about what's kind of the zoomed out discussion about what this could be representative of, I do think one of the things is what I just talked about, which is the way that this messaging around guns, this culture around guns, at the NRA convention, we heard Chrissy Noma say, I already have a shotgun and a rifle or something for my 2-year-old. And just the whole thing, it just can't be playing well into this, to be telling people constantly that you should be so ready to shoot first, ask questions later.